What it do, baby? Hey, it's your boy Tyrik Wynn, iHeart Media's #1 national news anchor, also owner and CEO of Wynn Productions LLC. I am the youngest studio owner in Metro Atlanta. Hey, make sure you tap in with your boy. And hey, you can also check me out, national journalist on Fatal Attraction on TV1 as well. Listen, y'all are tuning in to the Growing Painz podcast, the #1 podcast for Gen Zers. Make sure y'all tap in.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast. It's your girl, Yanni.
Hey, y'all. I'm Jada.
Hey, what's good? It's your boy, Travion. We are here with my boy, Tyrik Wynn. Let's get it. Yeah. iHeart Media news anchor, journalist, host. He's doing a lot of great things. So
youngest
we about to get
studio
into
owner.
it. Youngest studio owner. He's doing his thing. You feel me? He outside. So yeah, let's get into it. We're gonna start off with some icebreaker questions, and yeah.
Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna start off.
Okay.
Ready?
I'm ready.
All right, all right. Okay, so what's one thing that everyone loves that you don't seem to understand?
Ooh, that's a hard question. Everybody loves that I don't seem to understand. Okay. So this is weird, but okay. And don't get mad at me, but these furry slippers that females be wearing, I'm sorry, I'm not a fan.
You hate the furry slippers?
Like the UGG type?
I don't like the furry slippers.
Why not?
I don't know.
It's not giving.
It's not like, I don't know. It's like, okay, you can be attractive, but if you got the furry slippers on, I'm not even looking at you no more.
You don't like the idea of the dogs out with the fur?
No, the dogs can be out, but just like the fur,
You're like, you can keep it.
That's funny.
I'm not a fan.
Okay.
All right, so what's one favorite childhood memory that's like, this is really,
a core memory, favorite childhood memory?
Favorite childhood memory. Wow. I have to say going to Disney World. Going to Disney World. Like, I think every kid should have a chance to go.
How was that for you?
Don't get a chance to go, but I mean, going to Disney World is an experience like no other. You know what I'm saying? Like you just feel so free.
No, for sure.
You're just like spreading your little wings at Disney. Going to meet Mickey Mouse and all that good stuff. So that would probably be my favorite childhood memory.
Okay.
I love that. And then the last icebreaker question. This one's a little more deep. But when you leave this world, what do you hope that your bloodline knows about you? So your children's children and your great-grandchildren and all of that. What do you hope they know about you when you leave this world?
Good stuff. Good stuff. I just want them to know that I was a great person. I gave it my all, and I listened to God, and did what I was supposed to do. And I think I know when I leave this world, I want to be remembered for just good stuff,
I love that.
Don't remember nothing negative about me.
Nah, for sure, for
like
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
We actually talked about that earlier in a question. It was a would you rather question. How did it go? It was something along the lines of would you rather be
my memory
live in regret?
No,
we
not
too young to be saying forget it. We always say that.
Not the regret one. Actually, I could pull it up, but it was basically a question about being remembered. Oh, would you rather be remembered for forever for doing something bad? Was that what it is?
I think so.
Or be forgotten by everyone. And so it's like you could being in the history books is something. Would you be remembered?
Bad.
Yes, in history books for something good, or would you rather be forgotten? Or remember for something bad in the history books or forgotten. That's what it was.
You can forget me. I don't want to be in the history books for nothing bad.
I feel that.
Okay.
I feel that.
All right. Well, I'm going to get into a little bit about you. What's some things about you that
we should know?
That we should know.
Our audience should know,
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. So honestly, I'll tell you this. The journey started at 14 years old. Okay. When I was 14, I came out with my first book, Green is a Thing, Money Manager for Kids.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
He came out swinging.
right. No, for real.
Yeah. So I did that book, and by me doing that book, that's how literally everything else was birthed, right? So doing the book, when I did the book, I was invited on podcasts like this, live TV, radio, all that good stuff. And I was able to do those interviews, and I was exposed to the media industry.
Yeah.
And so that's when I fell in love. So I started watching the news every day. When I was on break, I started watching daytime talk shows, so like Wendy, Steve, all that good stuff. And I learned a lot just by watching TV. And
That's cool.
because at first, before I even wrote the book, what I was trying to do is I was trying to be a Disney Channel star.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to do the little,
I feel like a lot of people wanted to be
with
a
Disney
Disney
Channel.
Channel. No, for real.
Yeah, like that was my lifelong dream. And I remember I had went on an acting audition or whatever, and I did with this company. I'm not gonna say their name, but
It was one of them scamming companies.
Yes.
Yo, they always on to it.
Yo.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I went to the audition, right? And so they told me I made it to the next level, right?
Of
Because they
course,
had split up groups. They was like, if you did this, if you got this on your piece of paper, go to this room.
Yeah.
If you don't, you stay right here,
Yeah.
right? So I'm thinking, okay, I'm with the people who got accepted, right? But then I turn around, we go in the room the next day, and them same people who was in the other room are showing up too. They're just trying to get folks money, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm
You're like,
washing
the
my
math
hands of
ain't
this
mathing.
acting stuff, right? So I said, I'm gonna do journalism because I found out about TV industry, news anchor, and all that stuff. So I did that, and in 2016, that's when I started my YouTube channel.
Okay, cool.
Tyrik on the Move, and I did that. My show sucked. My show was like,
Is it still up?
yeah, still up. You can go back and look at the first videos. If you go to because I changed the channel name, but if you go to Tyrik Wynn Network on YouTube, and you can look at the first videos and see everything wrong that I was doing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But I did that. My ratings were horrible. My show content was horrible. But it was crazy because one day I got this call. This lady was having this author expo in Atlanta. And was like, can you come and interview some of the authors that's going to be there? And I'll give you $100. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go make this $100, right? So,
Right.
yeah, that was probably like one of the most exciting $100 I ever made, right? So I did that, and then that's when I realized I could start making money on the show, right?
Yeah.
So started interviewing business owners on the show, stuff like that, getting those stories and capturing those moments and stuff. But then my ratings still weren't where I wanted them to be.
Yeah.
So then what I did, I was like, it'd be a good idea to get some celebrities on this thing to kind of spice it up, get that viewership going. So I started interviewing celebrities. I reached out to 500 celebrities, only got 10 yeses. Which I expected.
And is this before working with iHeart?
Yeah, this is way before.
So you were just interviewing celebrities on your own, like without working?
Yeah,
We're
talking like 2017, 2018.
Okay,
Crazy.
cool. That's dope.
Yeah, so I was doing that. Then once I did that, my parents saw that I was serious. They said, okay, you serious about this thing? You want to do this like for real? We're going to get you an LLC. So that was my Christmas gift in 2018, my LLC.
Okay,
so
cool.
Wynn Productions LLC, that's how this was born.
Love that. Yes.
And that's my baby. So Wynn Productions, I remember my first gig when I got my LLC was actually Super Bowl, when Super Bowl was here in Atlanta. And I was able to go to the Super Bowl, interview football players, other celebrities I was around.
That's dope.
And that was probably one of the most exciting experiences of my career.
Oh, I love
Just
that.
being in those rooms, man. I'm talking like, Tom Brady is like 5 feet
And how
from
old
me.
were you?
know what I'm saying? 18.
That's incredible.
That's great.
It's nice.
Yeah, that's super cool.
So what did you learn during that time period? The failure of the show. You're the only child?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Only child.
So like what did you learn during that time period? What lessons did you have to learn? Did you get discouraged during the journey? And also what lessons did you learn from like the celebrities basically?
I was very frustrated, like a lot. It was moments with tears. It was it was just moments where I wanted to quit. And sometimes I'd just be sitting in my room just bawling my eyes out because I'm just like, why isn't this working? Or like, why isn't this happening? And so that was just some of those moments. And I can tell you, like, I would ask for credentials to get in certain events and stuff, and I couldn't get in just because my numbers weren't there or I wasn't old enough. Sometimes you gotta be 21 and older to get in certain stuff. So it was just a whole lot of no's. You know what I'm saying? And I can tell you, the person who I've got the most no's from is Tyler Perry. I got the most no's from him, but I'm gonna get his interview eventually.
Definitely, for sure.
It's gonna come. But those are just some of the obstacles I faced during that time. But what I learned is, I'll tell you this: what I learned a lot from celebrities is you better come with your stuff.
Yeah.
You cannot come half stepping. You better know something about this celebrity. You better know, a whole lot of stuff before you get in front of their face and start interviewing them. Because if you don't know something about them, they will embarrass you.
Yeah.
And I've seen people in rooms and on red carpets get embarrassed. And I was like, I don't want that to be me. And I actually got embarrassed one time. I was interviewing this lady, right? And I had just said her first name, but I guess she's known for her full name. Yeah. So then she corrected me on her name. It was kind of like a little rude or whatever. So that was kind of like I was like, okay, I need to.
She said you better recognize.
Yeah. You better put some respect on my name. I was like, all right,
no, for real.
So,
yeah.
Something that stuck out from the jump when you started your story was, one, of course, the fact that you said you did your first book at 14. Like, most 14-year-olds aren't thinking about that. Like, I was in 9th grade at 14, so I know I wasn't thinking about writing a book. But also, you said you learned a lot about what you do from TV, meaning I'm pretty sure you watched a lot of TV, a lot of interviews. Some parents will look at, all my kid is doing is watching TV. Like, like they could look at it as a bad thing, but really that was like you studying your craft at a young age without you maybe not even realizing it. It's just like there could have just been this thing in you that attracted you to like these interviews and what they were doing, and maybe you didn't fully know like, oh, I'm gonna be doing this type of stuff, but that was you studying your craft. So I feel like that's just super cool, super inspiring. Like at a young age, like that seed was already planted. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Even with prior to starting, Yanni, you had asked him what's the meaning behind his name, and what did you say that the meaning was?
I said I didn't know.
You didn't know?
So
who said?
And then you said something about your mom.
Yeah. So, well, I had looked it up on Urban Dictionary, and it means food beast.
Food based?
Food beast.
But didn't your mom say she got the name from somewhere?
Yeah, she said she was watching a TV show and she was like,
and look,
that's what I'm saying. Like, you see the connection? It's almost as if it was just
I didn't even think that's how you said it.
Yeah, I noticed it while we were speaking about it, but I went to save it for the interview, and I'm just saying it's sometimes as if your parents can put something over your life. Good. So the way she got that from that show is. It's just crazy how things aligned in that. And
now you're on TV, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's just like she got your name from a TV show, and now you are on TV. Like, that's so crazy. How your purpose can be like exposed almost before you're even like, or I was gonna say before you entered the world, but even when you just entered the world, like like all of that stuff like plays a part. So I think that's super cool.
Yeah. So what is your tactic for building relationships? I want to start with that. What's your tactic for building relationships with people?
First, you got to get in the room. You know what I'm saying? That's the first step. If you get in the room, but you got to know, it's kind of crazy. You got to know somebody to get you in the room. Then once you get in the room, it's free game. You just do your own networking, do all that good stuff. And then also is you have to basically present yourself in a good way. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, I can say like, okay, I'm on Fatal Attraction on TV1, right? That's a national TV show. Very difficult to get on there, right?
Yeah.
I'm on there because I knew somebody who was already in there. That's the only reason I'm on the show. Because it's not like you can't just go online and like fill out an application to be on the show. It's kind of like reality TV, like, Housewives and stuff. Like you can't just apply to be on the Housewives.
Exactly.
You got to know somebody who's already in there to get you on.
Definitely.
And so that was just one example where I just so happened to know somebody who was already in the room. They was able to get me in the room. And then once I got in the room, I was able to tell them about myself. They liked me. And now they got me on the show monthly.
That's
I really like that. Because I definitely feel like the network of friends you have determine how high you go.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So what are some networking tips you have for people who may be in their shell or shy? Because, you also are talking to people every day. So what are maybe some books you've read or stuff like that?
Funny, right? Even though I'm an author, I have not read that many books. I just, it was crazy. and that's a testimony, because when I was smaller, I hated to read. I did not like to read. And if you had told me I was going to be an author, I probably would have laughed at you. I was like, I ain't going to be no author. But I mean, it just ended up happening.
Yeah.
And, but what I would say is, you got to, if you're like, is it introvert? If you're
Introvert.
Like,
Introvert.
yeah. If you're like an introvert, just put yourself in uncomfortable situations, right? So like, I know social proof, always having something, you know, events and stuff like that. You got to put yourself in certain situations that you're uncomfortable so you can get comfortable, you know? And then, I mean, when you out in public, just introduce yourself to people.
Yeah.
No, for
Get
sure.
to know people, like shake hands, you know, COVID over with. So
Yeah.
shake hands again.
Yeah.
And I mean, just literally just get to know people and just get to know who people are. And you don't have to be at a networking event. You can just be out, period. You know,
No, definitely.
Like when I'm out places, I can be at the bowling alley and I'm talking to the
Right.
people in the lane next to it. You know,
Yeah.
so it's just all about just meeting people. Just meet people, build relationships, and be a people person.
Yeah, it's like if you get used to just starting conversations with people, no matter the occasion or no matter where you're at, like just random people, I feel like that could build your confidence when you are in these bigger rooms. Like you just have to get used to becoming like a conversationalist almost, you know? So yeah, it's like building a muscle basically, you know? So yeah, I love that.
Even with what you said of being an introvert, I feel as though from the little time of getting to know you more, I feel as though you're in a sense extrovert. Like they was at the family reunion playing "You Make Me Happy." Yeah, it's like but yeah, like I just seen you dancing and like just chill. So that's my perspective. But what do you feel as though? What would you categorize yourself, your characteristics and your traits?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely out there. I'm an extrovert.
For sure.
I'm always meeting people. I'm like you said, I'm always the first one on the dance floor. Ain't nobody got me on the dance floor. My song coming on, I'm getting out.
I might have you on the dance floor, not gonna lie.
Yeah, Jada be on the dance floor. Y'all gonna be racing there.
Yeah. So next event we go see. Yeah,
Nah,
we
for
go-
sure.
Even the one post I seen every Monday, I see you on my timeline. You be talking about the Fit Mondays. How does that go?
The daily fit check.
Yeah, how do you do it?
Yeah, so that's I'm glad you asked me about that. So so every day that I'm at the studio at iHeart, I do this thing called Tyrik's Daily Fit Check, right? My goal for Tyrik's Daily Fit Check is to get a brand deal or some type of modeling gig, you know,
yes.
preferably Gucci.
Yeah.
Because that's one of my favorites. But yeah, that's the goal. And so what I'll do is I'll be like, I'm myself, but I'm a lot more hype, right? So, you know, I come out and be like, what it do, baby? It's your boy Reek, you know what I'm saying? Come in hot. Hey, you know what I'm saying? We got the navy blue suit on, hey, with that Gucci belt on. Then I do a little shoe check or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I just, you know, I just have fun with it, be hype, and people just be laughing in the comments. You know, it's just something to always kind of brighten people's day up a little bit. You know, kind of get their juices flowing. Because I try to post it in the morning. If I get in at a decent time and stuff like that, I try to put the video out in the morning so people can start their day on a positive note and stuff. And it's just something to make people laugh.
Yeah,
I
for
love
sure.
that. I love that. So I do want to still talk about like the second part of your journey. So you said the Super Bowl was before college, right? Or were you in college?
I just started college.
Okay.
So I was in my
Okay.
first year.
So what was it like? You were already basically doing interviews and stuff before you got into college, correctly? Yeah. So what was it like trying to manage that while also like managing school while trying to still do your interviews and things like that? Like, what did your journey in journalism look like once you entered college?
It was hard, like trying to balance schoolwork and the career. It was real difficult. But when I got to Georgia State, right, because I went, shout out to GSU, I went to Georgia State, and the first thing I did when I got there was I joined Panther Report News. That's the school news station. So I was at Panther Report News for 3 years, 3 school years, freshman, sophomore, junior, and then I was at the newspaper my senior year. But when I got there, when I got to Georgia State and I joined PRN, I did a couple of packages, right? My first package, my first stand-up, terrible. Don't go back and look at it, please. But, you know, and it's crazy because sometimes I go back and look and I'll be like, wow, I've come a long way. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a lot of progress. But when I got there, I did my first couple of stories and then they promoted me to anchor. So I sat I anchor probably about 80% of our newscasts.
Oh, wow.
At Georgia State. Yeah.
How long did it take them to basically promote you to
3
anchor?
weeks.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
3 weeks. Yeah.
Okay, period.
3 weeks. Cause and then that's another thing. Closed mouths don't get fed. When I got there, I told them I want to be at the anchor desk. Like, I
love
told them
that.
up front. Like I
Making
was
it
like,
known what you
this is what
want.
I want to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of times people make that mistake is people don't tell people what they want. You have to tell people what you want. You know,
Yeah.
closed mouths don't get fed. And
Right.
that's just basically what it is. But it was back to your question. It was pretty difficult. I would say my grades definitely could have been better if I wasn't so focused on the career, but I was focused. You know what I'm saying? I had my eye on the prize the whole time
Yeah.
I'm at school. You know, and it was crazy because I had school, I had my business, had a girlfriend at the time. So it was a lot trying to do all that, and I had a regular job.
Yeah.
So yeah, because.
And then I'm pretty sure like and I'm actually happier. Another reason I'm happier here is because I don't think we've ever had like people that's in college on this show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I want to like be able to even talk more about your college experience, but even like on top of like everything you just mentioned, I'm pretty sure you also had the college distractions of like, you know, going to parties. I'm pretty sure you had friends talking about, hey, you want to come drink tonight? Like all of that stuff. And so even just like talking more about like how did you deal with those distractions? And like you said, the girlfriend and the job and just all of that while still trying to get a or a B.
Oh, well, I'm gonna tell you that first semester didn't have all A's and B's. I'm just
For sure, for sure.
transparent.
Okay.
Freshman, you know, when you get to college, freshman is the play year. You know,
Yeah.
it's the year to like play. But then once you become a sophomore, okay, it's time to get.
Let me get a little more
focused.
serious. Yeah.
Let's get focused. But when I my college experience was like no other, yo. It was awesome. And I was very distracted because I stayed on campus my first year. I stayed at Piedmont North. Shout out to my folks at Piedmont North. Our dorm was a little ghetto, but you know.
I think ghetto is good though. Ghetto is fun.
It is though. It was some wild stuff happening at Piedmont North, yo. Like
I
it was
believe
crazy.
it.
But yeah, I was definitely distracted. Going to parties and stuff. I love to party. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I love to dance, love to party. You know what's crazy? I actually didn't want to be an underage drinker, so I waited.
That's good.
I waited.
That's
I was
good.
like,
Okay, responsible.
because
Yes.
I knew that I had a career, and I know that like, you know, people got their cell phones and they can, you know, take a
I
video.
love
Look at
that.
Tyrik, you know,
Being
look-
intentional.
Yeah. So I always had that in my mind that people have the ability to record you what you're doing and stuff, and they can post that and they can ruin your career.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was funny. I remember I was 21. And somebody did get like a video of me like sipping or whatever, but it, you know, and I wasn't being crazy or nothing. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, you gotta delete that. 'Cause, you know.
Yeah.
This ain't 21. Can you do something for me?
So yeah, it's just stuff like that. You just gotta be cautious, you know.
Nah, for sure.
But yeah, I'll tell you, my grades got better when I moved off of campus my sophomore year, and then the pandemic happened. And everything moved online. And it was crazy. My grades got better when the pandemic happened. When I tell you I had the most A's I ever seen. When the pandemic hit, I was like, I ain't happy about the pandemic, but I mean, it's kind of
Nah,
working
for
for me.
sure.
You know? So yeah.
You still did interviews during the pandemic too, or like journalism during it?
Yeah, so for the school news, they set us, luckily I already had a home set. So I actually, because I had bought my own green screen, had bought my own cameras for the production company, right? So I already had the news set up. So they had me anchoring all the newscasts from home. So I was anchoring the newscast from home for Georgia State. And then when it came to my show, I was just doing virtual interviews. And let me tell you something. The pandemic actually helped me so much because I was able to get so many interviews during the pandemic because the celebrities are sitting at home not doing that. So their schedules are clear. So they can talk to me. And I'm talking, I can have like 30-minute to an hour conversations with them.
Oh, wow.
Because, you know, we was doing it on Skype, Zoom, all that good stuff. So I was able to get those conversations that I wanted.
Yeah. You know what I noticed? I noticed when you said about somebody catching you drinking. I noticed, I look down and I don't know if you do, but I noticed you don't have any tattoos or anything. Is that intention as far as your career and what you want to do in life?
Man, needles hurt, man. Like I had, it's just certain things like people have asked me if I wanted like piercing, you know, in my ear and like tattoos and stuff, and I'm like, that stuff is painful. I don't.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I feel that.
So, and it was crazy because it was this one girl who said, you know, Tyrik, you look pretty attractive with a little ring here. I was like, I'm not doing it.
It's like,
I can't handle the pain. So, but yeah, I don't do tattoos. I don't do piercings and stuff. That's just not. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
It has like I already knew if I had a tattoo on my neck, I couldn't be an anchor.
Yeah.
Right.
I just knew it's just certain stuff. But if it's like, even if it's hidden, which I still don't have any hidden tattoos, like I don't have tattoos at all, but that was just never my thing. You know what I'm saying? That's just not my personality. That's just not who I am.
Yeah, because you know, like some people may fall short to it. And even I got tattoos thinking it was cool. And I got 3 of them back to back. And then after, I was like, oh, I want to get a sleeve. I want to do all this. But then now it's almost as if I seen Little Baby and he also said he don't have any tattoos. So I wanted to know if there was like, he don't have any. But it's for a reason. He knows like what he wants to do and he knows when he get into rooms and business and stuff.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so that's why I asked. I thought it was an intention for why you did it, but it's like, nah, I'm just scared of needles, bro.
Yeah, I don't like needles. Like when I be getting a shot at the doctor, I be like,
That's funny.
Yeah.
One thing you said earlier is you were saying how when you were coming up, you experienced some things that made you cry. Some, I guess, L's that I'm pretty sure you would look at as W's now. What's the biggest, I guess you would say, L that you've taken that's just threw you off track?
That's funny. So I'll tell y'all this story. I almost got beat up by what's his name? Dang, who bodyguard was this? Okay, I almost got beat up by Holyfield's bodyguard. So Javante Tank Davis was fighting here in Atlanta, right? And I got credentials to cover Fight Week. So I was covering Fight Week, and I went to the weigh-in. So I was at the weigh-in, and when I got to the weigh-in, I seen Holyfield sitting down in like the VIP area. So I just walked up to Holyfield. I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I shook his hand. I was like, "Can I get a quick interview with you?" And he was like, "Yeah, of course." So I was like, "Okay, cool. I'm gonna go get my dad because he got the camera, and then we're gonna be back over here." So I went to go get dad. I was like, "Hey, Holyfield said we can interview him. You know, I'm finna get an interview with Champ, right?" So I went over there. And then I seen this dude that was like 7 feet tall. And I was like, so I started walking. I walked towards Holyfield. And then he stepped in front. He was like, "Holyfield not doing interviews right now." I was like, but he just said I could interview him. And he was like, "Holyfield not doing interviews right now." So he said that. And I was like, but Holyfield said I could come over here and interview him. So like, I'm kind of getting heated, right?
Yeah.
Kind of getting heated because he told me I could interview him. And now you messing it up, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm like 5'10", right? And he like 7 feet tall. So I did something real stupid. So I stepped to him, right? I stepped to him, and you know, he stepped forward to me. And so my dad, like, he saw it going left like real quickly. And so he had got in, butt in.
Yeah.
And was like, "Son, this dude eat tractor trailer tires for breakfast."
He said, "We are not fighting Goliath."
He was like, "Just cut your losses and let's go."
No, for real.
So I can tell you that was a moment that was one. Even I was acting tough, but I was scared as I don't know what. I really thought I was about to be like beat up, right?
He said, "I'm a nuck if you buck."
No, for real.
So that was So that was a funny story, but I definitely took an L that day. And I can tell you, I've, with my show, so at Wynn Productions, we film and produce our own shows, right? I've gotten a lot of no's as far as pitching my shows to like networks and stuff like that, because my goal is to get my shows on a national level.
Yeah.
And I've gotten countless amount of no's on that. You know, just because either the network's not looking for shows or they just don't like it or, you know, whatever the case may be. And so I can say that is the that is probably one of the biggest L's I've been taking and still taking. Like, you know, the other day I pitched to a network and they told me no.
Yeah.
So, but I'm still trying. You know, I'm going to keep doing it until somebody say yes.
That's
So
good.
I love that. I know Trey wanted to ask you about dating, but I did have one more question about college before he asked you. So I wanted to know what was the biggest difference between who you were when you entered college, whether that's just as a person or as a journalist, versus who you were when you left college. What's the biggest difference? What's up? I know you're enjoying the episode, but real quick, we wanted to take a second to talk to y'all.
Hey, pull out your phones right now and text the word GP Crew to the number down below. Let's get it.
Go do that right now. You're going to get updates about new drops, events, and so much more.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let me get back behind the camera. Let's get it.
I would say I would say my on-camera presence is a lot better.
Okay.
When I first got in, I was terrible. Like I wanted to be in front of the camera, but I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
But then when I got there, being a part of the journalism organizations, being in the classrooms and stuff, they taught me on-camera presence.
Yeah.
And that was probably like one of the biggest things that I learned being at Georgia State was on-camera presence. And so, like I said, when I first got there, I sucked. And like I told y'all earlier, when I did my first stand-up, it was terrible. But then when I got out, I could just see my progress. And I was like, wow, like I've come a long way.
Yeah.
And I can say that that's a big difference. And I can also, I think I'm a lot more fun. You know what I'm saying? I think college, like, loosen me up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Loosen me up a little bit. I was trying things and not that wild. Like,
No, I get it though. I feel like college is a place of new experiences in general.
New experiences, and then I got these friends around that are having me do different things. And just having fun. So it was a lot of fun and going on trips and like it was a good experience. So I definitely say I'm a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that.
I wish I was a college student. Just to get the experience.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's not too
We're already in motion with some things. I'm not going to college.
For sure. Trey gonna be at the in class doing thumbnails.
I'm like, hold on. I'm sitting there. My teacher, she told me to put my laptop away. But so yeah, definitely. You talked about in college, you also had a girl. So how is that? Like, how y'all start off as close friends? So how you turn into my girlfriend? Yeah. How did that go? Like, how was that dynamic? What did you get out of that relationship, and how is your dating life now?
Mm-hmm. So when I met her, we was actually. I had to take summer classes at Georgia State to get in because my ACT and SAT scores just weren't quite there where they needed to be. So they told me if I wanted to get into Georgia State, I'd take summer classes before the fall or whatever. I was like, okay, cool. But when I did that, and I'm gonna get to the girlfriend thing, but when I did that, I had an internship at CNN and I lost it because I had to do class at Georgia State. Oh, wow. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that story. That was a boohoo moment. For sure. So, because that was my dream internship. But when I took classes during the summer, that's actually where I met my girlfriend, right? So I met my girlfriend, and it was crazy because it was the first week, and she was sitting towards the front, and I was sitting towards the back, and it was weird. She had a Six Flags uniform on. And so I was like, oh, she work at Six Flags. You know, she can get me in for free. So, yeah, not even thinking about, like, I wasn't even trying to get with her. I just wanted to, like.
I'm trying to get into Six Flags.
Six Flags, right? So I walked up to her. And, you know, we just started. I was like, you work at Six Flags? She was like, yeah, I work at Six Flags. I work at the candy store. I was like, okay, that's dope or whatever. And so from there, we literally just became friends. And I had forgot all about trying to get the free tickets, right?
Yeah.
You know, like now I'm starting to look at her differently. So, and then we had this friend, we created this friend group. It was about 5 of us, right? So we had like this little friend group or whatever. We would go out to eat, hang out after class and all this good stuff. And so it was crazy because we were all supposed to go to Six Flags, right? And the other people had backed out, right? And I was like, I was like, we can still go if you want to,
Yeah.
right? Because, you know, I had intentions.
Yeah.
So I was like, so we can still go. So we actually went, but then we actually changed it from Six Flags to Whitewater. So we went to Whitewater
yeah.
instead, right? So, you know, so we go to Whitewater. You know, she had this 2-piece on. So, so I was like, okay, she
was
looking,
light.
she looking right. So from there, we just started doing a whole lot more stuff, started going out more, and she actually lived 15 minutes away from me. And so, like, I would go to her house, give her rides. We go to school together. We come back together.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So, and then one day we was in the car and she was like, she just told me she liked me. Or no, she asked me if I liked her. And I think I
Do you
said
like me?
yes.
Check yes or no.
Yeah, that right there. So that's how we happened. I definitely learned a lot because that was like I had girlfriends, but she was like, I want to say like the first real actual girlfriend.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? The other ones was just like play girlfriends, wasn't really
For sure.
serious like that. But she taught me a lot. You know, I learned what it's like to actually be with a woman. You know, like how women want to be treated and stuff like that. Which I mean, my parents taught me that stuff, but I was able to experience firsthand.
I get what you mean,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So, and I was just able to like pick her brain and ask her about stuff. You know, just find out how the hardest thing to find out is how women think, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like what women are thinking. But that relationship ended because she cheated. Yeah, she cheated. Let me tell
Come
you,
on now.
Like, no, let me tell you, we was freshmen in college, right? She cheated on me with a sophomore in high school.
Dang.
Well,
I
that's
was like,
Crazy.
I was like, wow, that's
Hot
like,
tenderoni.
I know. I'm
Just
like,
doing anything.
yeah. So that's how that ended.
Yeah.
But my dating life now, boring. Yeah, I've recently been on a couple of dates and stuff, but yeah, it didn't go nowhere.
I got a question. Now, Yanni, turn that way. Turn that way. Please. All right, so I'm gonna whisper this, but last time Jada and Yanni, they got me caught up, right? So I'm gonna just ask you this question.
Yeah.
What's your type?
My type.
Cause y'all got me caught up last time.
you did that yourself.
Nah, Jada, she sent me.
I did.
What's my type? You know, it's funny. I don't like. It's crazy. I don't think I really have a. People say I have a type, but I don't feel like I have a type.
If
I
we
mean-
looked at all your past,
track
people-
Yeah. And we see all you did is this kind.
Come on now, what we gonna see?
I mean, y'all.
So we
gonna
know the first one was a cheater.
Okay, yeah. You know what's crazy? I've only dated short girls, but I don't really like I'm not a. It's weird. Like I don't prefer short girls, but that's just it. Just
happens
happened to
like
be
that.
like that. I've
Yeah.
never dated a girl my height. No,
I
she's
feel
always
that.
like came below my shoulders or whatever, or like to my shoulders. But I would say like what I like. I mean, I just like somebody who's level headed, who has ambition, who has goals and dreams. You got to look neat. And you gotta be together. You can't be thrown together. I tell you, my number one pet peeve is bonnets at Walmart in public. Listen, I don't like it.
He calling y'all out. If he see you with a bonnet in public,
Yeah, that's a turnoff, man.
He said absolutely not.
But honestly, like if she just looked good and she got herself together and she got goals and dreams and aspirations, we can work.
so do
We
you?
can talk.
You don't feel like dating right now would be a distraction with like everything you're doing?
That's it. I would love to date.
Okay.
Would you date outside your race?
I've done it.
Okay.
I've done it. I would say my parents would prefer for me to
Right.
like, or I don't think they really care about who I date, but like when it comes to marriage, they would prefer her to be black.
For sure.
Okay.
Which I mean I understand, and that's not
Right.
like I like black girls. I like
It's a tough question, bro. You answer the question, and then if you keep going, you're gonna get yourself caught up. It's like, bro,
let me
just keep it here.
He about to pull up. Oh, women are beautiful.
The further he kept going, he got himself caught up. It's like, bro. Hold on. All right, so how do you feel about gender roles?
Oh, gender roles. Honestly, I feel like I think both I think both people can do whatever. You know, I think like for me, I love to cook. Like I will get in the kitchen and whip up a mean meal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I cook for my girl.
Okay.
It's like I'll do
that's
that.
right.
I don't like doing the dishes. I'm sorry. That's just not my thing. But as far as like, you know, as far as like house stuff, like, I mean, I'm okay with doing the house stuff. Like, if you got something going on, like, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? If, you know, you got a long day, I'm home early, I get started on dinner. I get started on, you know, whatever need to be done. There's that. And then as far as like the money and like careers and stuff, that goes, one of those questions is, you know, do you care if she makes more money than you? I would love that.
I like where you're taking it.
That'd be fantastic. Shoot. But you know, I don't really, that would be something that wouldn't bother me.
Hey y'all, what's up? I know you're enjoying the episode, but real quick, we wanted to take a second to talk to y'all.
Hey, pull out your phones right now and text the word GP Crew to the number down below. Let's get it.
Go do that right now. You're going to get updates about new drops, events, and so much more.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let me get back behind the camera. Let's get it.
You know what I'm saying? As far as like working and stuff, like like within what I do, you know what I'm saying? Like, she won't necessarily need to like go out and get a job or do whatever, but I'm pretty sure she's gonna want to do her own thing anyway. So which is, you know, okay, either way it goes. But yeah, so there's that. And it was crazy. I heard I was watching one of y'all's interviews and y'all asked the guy about prenups. So my opinion, I'm gonna give my opinion on prenups.
Let's go.
Yes, I would. Yeah, I would. Matter of fact, the last girl I was dating, I was talking to her about prenup. I was like, "You gonna have to sign one if we get married." I just told her straight up. I was like, because it's like, it's not that I don't trust that we're not gonna be together. It's just the fact that
I gotta protect.
I have to protect myself and I have to protect my assets.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can't just let somebody just come in, be with you, and then take it away.
Yeah.
So if she making more than you still saying sign this prenup?
I mean, that's a good question. I mean, you know, it's because I had thought about that. I said,
She
like,
gonna be like, prenup.
yeah, she gonna be trying to make me sound what? And you know, it's crazy. I don't think I would have a problem with it if I did it. I don't think I would have a problem because like I understand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it because we're both in the same boat.
For sure.
Like, if I ended up with like a celebrity wife or something like that, and she brought that up, I mean, I probably wouldn't like argue.
Okay.
I'd just be like, okay,
That's
you know,
cool.
whatever. But you know,
I feel that.
can both people sign a prenup? Is that like a thing, or is only one person need to sign
I'm
it?
not sure.
I don't know how.
How that goes, though?
Yeah.
We're like, none of us is married.
I don't know nothing about it.
So I wouldn't know. But nah,
That's funny.
so do you feel as though, okay, so what's your perspective on you taking care of everything? Do you feel as though there's a different standard now? There's a different level of respect or, you know, things that are required from a woman, being that you take care of all the bills? And when I say all the bills, I'm not just talking about like the house stuff. I'm talking about her phone
car
bill,
note,
her
her
car note, her hair, her nails, them lashes that they wear that be looking like just
That
big.
be looking at you like
Yes,
this.
where you
Yeah.
can't even see them. Like, y'all need lashes is nice, but it be getting excessive when like you really can't, like you can't even see their eyelids.
And I would say answer that from the point of view of like where you are now.
Yeah,
like,
the point of view
Yeah,
now.
not like, oh, like, 10 years, 20 years down the line, I could do all of that.
Yeah,
but where you are now, could you see yourself like being like, don't pay for nothing, I got you on everything?
But you do it.
Or you a 50-50 type of guy?
I mean, I like.
Be honest now.
It's a hard question. I don't.
Really, what he's saying is you gonna pay some bills. Yeah.
Like,
You said this ain't free.
I mean, I don't have a problem, but like, I don't want it to be expected. Like, oh, like you gonna pay for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just kind of want it to be like, you know, babe,
Like
here,
a
go get your hair done, nails, whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a problem doing it, but like, maybe I just don't want it to be like expected. Like, you know what I'm
I
saying?
get that.
And like taking advantage of it, you know, because you know I'm gonna pay
That
for
makes
it. Like
sense.
taking advantage of it and stuff like that. So
It's kind of just almost as if allow me to make that decision, or it just be a organic thing. It's not forced. It's not, oh, you got to pay these bills. You know, I'm the woman and all of that stuff. Now, Okay, you already said cooking and all of that stuff. So, what other questions do y'all
I got a
have?
question. So, say you found the woman of your dreams, right? Everything you wanted. She's attractive, great personality, everything, right? And she has a successful business, right? But she says that if you want to date her, you have to drop what you're doing.
Oh no. I'm sorry. What did you say? I got excited. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm not dropping my goals, my dreams, my aspirations. I mean, you could be drop dead gorgeous. You could be my celebrity crush, but I can't do that. I got too much going for myself, and I'm too passionate. You know what I'm saying? I'm too passionate. I'm too focused to give up. And I done came so far. I cannot give up. You know, I can't give up.
I feel that.
Have you ever had, while interviewing people, have you ever had a girl that you wanted to pursue or that you ended up pursuing?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because we talked at the morning meetup.
He done tried to get some numbers.
I'm gonna tell you,
beautiful girls, alone and down the world.
Well, I will tell you this. I will say the prettiest girl that I've interviewed, it was actually recently, was Zanique.
Let's get it.
Definitely.
When I tell you, Zanique was gorgeous. When I was interviewing her, I was. I mean, it was kind of difficult because, like, you know, she fine. So it was like, you know, it's like you want to pursue that, and she had just came out with a breakup, so I already knew she had it. So, or at least if she did have somebody, it wasn't like in the news or in the blogs or whatever. So, or whatever. But I didn't try to slide. One, because I'm like, you know, I'm making good money, but I know she in a new, totally different tax bracket than me. So, but I did. You know, she was pretty. I did, like, you know, if I thought that I had a chance, I probably would have went for it. But I knew I had no chance. So I didn't even try it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Zanique, I work with you. Hit up my boy. You feel me? Hit up my boy.
Yeah,
give him a chance. Let him. You feel me? Yeah.
Look, he said he'll do the cooking, okay? He'll do the cooking.
He could be your personal chef. Stop playing with him. Yeah.
Y'all are funny. But, okay, so speaking of iHeart, did you start that after college? And if so, like, how did you even start working at iHeart Studio?
Yeah, so iHeart, and by the way, shout out to iHeart, man. I when I tell you, iHeart, I love it so much. It's like it's my happy place. You know
I love
what I'm saying?
that.
Like, I just feel every day I walk in that room, it's like something that just come over me. It's like a happy, positive spirit.
That's good.
Every time when I walk in the door, I've never had a negative, like,
I love that.
negative spirit walking in those doors. But the way that came about is, it was crazy. So obviously I have my business, right? But I had such a strong passion for news and telling stories that I knew that I would have to get a job to do news and tell stories, right? Because I didn't have like a news setup myself, right? Just yet. So I knew I was gonna have to do that. I didn't want to clock in and work for nobody, but I knew I had to sacrifice that to be able to do what I love. So I was actually, when I graduated, I put my anchor reporter reel out, right? TV hosting reel and all that stuff. And I got over 100 different offers from different television stations across the country, wanting me to come anchor and be a reporter. So I heard all of them out, but I'll tell you, the money was just not there. It was people who wanted me to move away and making less than $30,000 a year.
Oh, dang.
I'm like, that's a setback. I can't do that, you know? So, and I knew that, I knew if I moved away, I was going to have to leave my business behind. I knew my parents was going to like run the business or whatever, but I just didn't really feel comfortable leaving my baby like that, because my business is my baby. You know what I'm saying? It's like a child. So I didn't want to leave my business. So literally all those offers I got, I had to turn them down because of pay, moving. it was a lot of different factors, right? So I said, and the Lord told me to stay put. He said, stay in Atlanta, right? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay here. So it was crazy. For my graduation gift, my parents got me a all expense paid trip to Hawaii, right? I always wanted to go to Hawaii. That was like a dream vacation. And so they had surprised me with that at my party. Yeah. And so when this fast forward to October of last year, we was in Hawaii, chilling on the beach, you know what I'm saying? Showing my pecs on the beach. So I'm just chilling on the beach, and it was crazy. Some told me to check my email, and I was like, I'm on vacation. I'm not checking emails. I'm not texting. I'm not doing calls. Like, I ain't doing nothing. I'm unplugging, right? Like, I barely even had my phone. Yeah. But some just told me to check my email. And when I checked my email, in the subject line, I seen iHeart Media. I was like, what they want with me? So I hopped in that email and I read it, and it was from the news director, and he said, Tyrik, we have a anchor position open here in Atlanta. We wanted to know if you wanted to come and anchor at iHeart Radio. I was like, yeah, like, I'm not passing this up. Yeah. So I went in and did it. I was up against another individual, and they ended up choosing me. Oh, wow. And they ended up choosing me for the anchor position. And I mean, that's just one of them things. It's like, even though it is a job, it's like one of them things you just can't turn down because the pay is good. The numbers, I mean, iHeart got the numbers. They well known. And then it's another opportunity for me to get my name out there, get my numbers up, get more social media following. And let me tell you, being at iHeart, the opportunities that have came from iHeart have been unbelievable.
What's some of those opportunities?
Interviews and getting in the rooms. Like, I'll say the interviews that I've gotten so far since I've been at iHeart. I've gotten like I did Zanique. I did Isaac Ryan Brown on Raven's Home on Disney Channel.
Oh yeah,
the guy from Victorious.
Yeah. Rob,
I saw that.
Matt Bennett. Robbie Shapiro. I got to interview him, and I got to interview him exclusively backstage at his concert.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying?
I love him.
Yeah, that was the type of stuff. And actually, it was funny, an opportunity that came up literally like 3 days ago, and these people reached out to me. I got an email from Senator Warnock's press team saying, Tyrik, can you do an interview with Senator Warnock about this issue? I said, yeah. I was like, I want to interview Senator Warnock. So I mean, it's just opportunities like that. And I was like, how did you guys hear about me? And they was like, we've been watching you. We've been watching how you've been moving and stuff. And we want somebody young to interview. And I was like, absolutely, I'll do it. So it's just opportunity. Yeah, it's just opportunities like that have come of iHeart. And since I've been doing it and I've been reaching out to people for interviews, I haven't really gotten many no's. The only person that has told me no since I've been there, I was trying to interview Michael B. Jordan. The only reason I couldn't get his interview is because his schedule was real tight. That's the only reason I couldn't get him. And then I was so close to getting Janet Jackson backstage. Yo. Wow. I tell you, I was like this, but they had changed her. Because the Hawks had advanced another round in the playoffs, they had changed their concert date, so I couldn't get my interview. But it's just little, opportunities like that just make it so worth it. So
that's great. Super dope.
What's the one thing? So in the podcasting space, we're all learning just how to improve each time, and even in the iHeart media space, the journalism and all of that stuff. What's tips that you can give to someone that wants to get into the space of just interviewing people, having their own show, different things like that?
Yeah, I would say definitely if this is something that you're interested in, first of all, you gotta have the drive to do it. You know what I'm saying? You have to have the desire. And if this is something you want to do, what I always say, if you might not be able to get to iHeart starting out or get on a television station starting out. So the way you start out is by creating your own content. I mean, we got cell phones. We all got cell phones. You know what I'm saying? Use that cell phone as a tool, not a toy. Use that cell phone to create content. I've shot interviews on my cell phone before. Yeah. Because sometimes I've been out and I didn't have my camera, like my professional camera, but I had my phone. I was like, I'm about to get this interview. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just stuff like that. And then of course, once you do it, be consistent. You know, that's Dave's number one word.
Yes,
Consistency.
definitely.
Gotta be consistent with it. Gotta have that drive. And then once you get to that point, invest in some equipment, do it professionally, and start getting in the rooms. Start reaching out to people, and you can feel free to reach out to me. My DMs are open. At Tyrik Wynn, iHeart Media. That's my Instagram. Feel free to message me. You know, I'm happy to offer any tips or whatever I can do to help.
What's some good journalism as far as, you know, like you said, celebrities, they may be offended of the one celebrity where you didn't say her full name. So what's like 1 to 2 good tips of like a good journalist and a bad one?
Mm-hmm. So if you go, one thing I say is, you're going to be a good journalist, you got to know what you're talking about. Even if you don't know what you're talking about, look like you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be some stories in the prompt I'll be like, I ain't got no idea what this means. But I'm going to be up here, I'm going to say it confidently, loud and proud, to make it look like I know what I'm talking about, even though I ain't got no idea what I'm talking about. You know? So that's one tip. And then just you have to be not brave. Well, you do have to be brave, but you have to be confident. You have to be confident when it comes to this industry. You got to have tough skin. People going to rip you apart. People going to rip you apart in the comments. People going to rip you apart in public. I mean, it just comes with the job. Like, it's been times I've done stuff where people have ripped me apart in the comments, and it just comes with the territory. So it's just, you just got to have tough, thick skin and just roll with the punches, you know?
Yeah. I actually have a question. So, you know, sometimes in the music industry, they can have you do stuff that you may not agree with. Have you ever had to do that, like within news or journalism? Like, maybe they had you speak on something that you didn't agree with or anything like that?
Ooh, yes. I had to, being a journalist, I had to do something. I ain't know what in the world to expect when I did this, but I was on assignment and I had to do it. I had to cover a Black Voices for Trump rally.
Really?
Yes, I did. And when I tell you, that was, being in that room, it was wild. It was crazy. It was very uncomfortable. I was in a very uncomfortable situation. And these are our people who are supporting him, right? You know? And it was just crazy, but it was weird because, like, I went to a regular one and I went to a Black people one, right? Both of them was uncomfortable, right? But it's like, when I went to the regular one, you know, you got people, oh, you're fake news and this and that, and they'll ask you, are you fake news and stuff like that. So it's just, you know, stuff like that. It just talking about that just kind of get me just out of you know. But it's that is something that I can say I was probably the most uncomfortable is doing that. But me being in that situation made me a lot tougher. It actually made me a better journalist. Like, I'm reporting on something that I don't agree with.
No, that makes sense.
What's okay, so we covered dating, you know, the being in iHeart Media, your childhood, everything. We've covered that. So I definitely want to get into the other stuff you're doing, because I just see, like, on your page, like, almost every week you got something else going on. Even like, you've been telling me you about to travel and stuff. So what about, like, you know, Wynn Productions and all of that other stuff that you're doing as well?
Yeah, so with Wynn Productions, man, this has been I've had this dream for 3 years to open up my own studio. And literally this blessing came like 3 weeks ago. We had been looking for this space for I don't know how long. Like, looking for the space. We want the right size space for the right price in a good, nice area. Right? All of those things. And of course, they got to have different rooms, right? So come to find out, that is really difficult to find. So trying to find that, and, you know, looking at Dave's, like, Dave's space is perfect. You know what I'm saying? He got everything. Like, he got it going on over here. So just trying to find a little something like this, right? So, but we found it like 3 weeks ago. And when we found it, we was like, this is it. So I went ahead, contacted the people to buy it, and we went ahead and did that thing.
Nice.
And
That is so dope.
Congrats.
Congrats,
I
yes.
appreciate it.
That is super dope.
One
Well-
thing.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, one thing I realized is that you have a lot of like persistent in you. Like
Right.
you have a lot of drive. Just because something's thrown your way, you don't let it knock you down. Like for the thing you just said of the bodyguard, you said you were nervous, but you were still standing on, getting that interview. And I like that. So what would you say to somebody who maybe feel discouraged or want to give up and, they're in their season of their life where they're taking L's and stuff like that?
Yeah, I would just say you got to have faith. You know what I'm saying? Like they say that Hebrews, I can't remember the exact verse or whatever, but faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen.
Yep.
So even though it may look a certain way, you can't operate by what you see. You know what I'm saying? You have to operate. It's all about a mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's all about, you got to have the right mindset, and then your words have to agree with your mindset.
Yeah.
So like for a while, so this is what I did, right? And I actually put this on my social media. What I did was I can't remember when it was, but I think it was like in January of last year. I made a list and I put a list of a couple of things I want to do within the next year or so, right? So some things that was on that list was graduate from Georgia State, graduate from college debt free, get a new Lexus. I was between Lexus and Tesla. It was own a studio building. Just stuff like that I wrote, and I taped it next to my bed. So every morning that I got up, I would read that to myself and just affirm that stuff, right? And then before I go to bed, I would lay hands on the list and I would just pray over it.
I love that.
And I would do that, and I go to sleep afterwards.
I love that.
And it worked.
That's amazing.
All of that stuff, okay, except for the car.
I really like, you gonna get that car.
No, for sure.
I'm like,
I
Pull
love
up.
that.
It was funny. And it's honestly, I just been so busy. I really just hadn't time to actually like sit down at the dealership and go get it, because that takes hours, but I'm gonna do it though.
Yes, I
good.
love that.
Thank
So you're 22, right?
22. Yeah.
So the fact that you're 22 and a studio owner is crazy. Like, that's really incredible.
Thank you.
And so since we've talked about like a bunch about your story, I do want to get into like some entrepreneurship stuff, right? So I want to know, or at least can you tell the audience, like, what was it like actually getting the building? Like, what did you have to go through? And even like what type of planning and thought had to go into like putting this studio together, like, or what's the plan for even making money off the studio? What do you plan to do with it? Like, all that good stuff. Like, I want to know where your head's at.
Yeah, so it was kind of crazy. Like, at first it was like, is it time right now? You know, God's timing is everything.
Exactly.
Right? And it was like, it's now the time. You know, I see what I want. It's perfect. It's the right price. Is now the time. So I was kind of questioning that in my head, right? And then I got confirmation, and the confirmation was I had the money for it. So, so that was the confirmation. I said, okay, all right, we gonna do this thing. So I did it, and a lot of work going into this thing. It's not just you get it, and next thing you know,
Are you using funding or like cash, or
wait,
are you gonna use like credit or funding or cash, or how are you gonna pay for everything as far as like the inside and everything like that?
Yeah, well, I've been using my platinum.
Okay.
I've just been swiping that everywhere. So it's just because we have these. I got and I also say if you're in business, work on getting business credit.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's what we're working
Yeah,
on.
literally.
Yeah, because I can, and it was crazy because, and I'm gonna get to that in just a sec, but my dad told me something the other day that just kind of like wowed me. He was like, son, you had this, you got the American Express Platinum business card, right? He was like, you may not have realized this, but you have over $1 million in credit in your pocket. I was like, wow. I was like, for real?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. I was like, whoa, that's
That's
crazy.
good.
That's dope. No,
So yeah, that's just, I mean, that was wild. But as far as doing the studio and stuff, it's a lot that goes into it. Getting the paint, painting the walls. I'm painting the walls, helping to paint the walls. Doing the floors and stuff, painting the floors. I'll tell you, it's crazy though. The most difficult has been this furniture. Getting this furniture, yo, like going to all these furniture stores, and I'm talking, this stuff takes time. Like I'm going to different furniture stores up in like Norcross. Because you know that's like the furniture capital.
Definitely,
where all the furniture stuff is. So doing that stuff, getting stuff more locally and stuff, and just going to all these different places trying to get the stuff has been, not gonna lie, been very tiring and stuff. And you trying to find the right thing, that way your colors matching up, because you don't want no tacky studio. You know what I'm saying? People gonna be filming in there.
Right.
And your studio look terrible. People gonna talk about you.
Yeah.
And the press and the blogs, all that stuff. So I was like, nah, they ain't gonna talk about me. So I was like, I'm gonna make it right.
I feel that.
But I'm happy to say we are almost finished. By the time this probably airs, we'll probably be up and done and going ahead and getting customer base in. But we'll be having the grand opening for the studio in June.
I love that.
So of course y'all invited.
That's great.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
And yeah, hey, if y'all want to, I know y'all filming here, but if y'all want to take an episode of Going Painz, you know, one episode or something, you know, that'll be on me. So
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
I love that.
So, but yeah, as far as the studio, what it's gonna have podcast suites. It's gonna have a huge green screen wall, a classroom, executive suites, or executive offices for like, you know, the team and stuff like that. I have a spot for the secretary, and then we'll also have a couple of TV sets as well, and then something new that we're implementing, which a lot of people may not know about this, but we're gonna tap into the virtual office aspect. So people, so for those of y'all who don't know what a virtual office is, so like if you want your own space, but you don't really, maybe you might not have like the money to like get your own space, you can have what you call a virtual office. And so we can have the setup at our office where companies can sign up to have a virtual office, and then pay like, we haven't really set the price up, but I know for like other people, they charge like $60, $70 a month. And you can have your mail go to our office. You can have our secretary can take all your office calls and stuff like that. And once we get your mail, we can forward it to you, and secretary can take care of your, business stuff. And so that's something we're going to tap into.
I think that'll be dope for sure.
So that's nice, some extra income. So.
I love that.
That's
man,
so detailed.
No, for real.
Yeah, we done planned the thing out, man.
Yes, you're doing some really great things. And just like, you've only been out of college for 1 year, right?
Yeah, it was 1 year the other day.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, that's amazing. Like, for real.
That's good.
No, for real. So, I want to know, what do you see for your future? Like, what's your vision for your future, and what's next, you know?
Yeah, because you
I know you're going to do the studio, but like 10 years from now, where do you see your company?
That's a good question. It's crazy because like, this was my future. Yeah. I gotta come up with a different future. Something a little bit more extravagant.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about that lately. But I can tell you, the goal is to, and I know this is gonna sound crazy to everybody, but it's gonna happen because I'm claiming it. But I want to own some of Netflix. I want to buy parts of Netflix. I also want to own a couple of television networks that are already out there. So because I know it was funny. I made a joke on Instagram. Really wasn't really a joke, but it was kind of like a joke. I heard that, I can't remember exactly who it was, but some people was looking to buy BET or white. And I was like, they're not gonna cut me out of the deal. I want in too. So that was like a little joke or whatever. But yeah, just stuff like that. I want to be able to buy some networks. Get part of a streaming platform like Netflix, Hulu, HBO, whatever the case may be. I want to do that. I also want to, of course, expand, our studio and stuff. We're not going to be there forever. Yeah. Of course, we want something a lot bigger and stuff, and we'll be able to do a whole lot more things. And that's just the vision. And to, of course, continue to be on national TV. Yeah. I have my own national TV shows, and that's the goal.
I love that.
Those are the goals.
Yeah.
And something you said about BET. Well, I have a question. If you were to purchase BET, I'm just curious to know, what would you do to improve it?
That's a good question.
That's I haven't thought that far, but I know I would improve it.
Because it does need some improving. So that's why I said that. Like, what would you do?
I think I know one thing I would do, because I realize that there are not a lot of opportunities for independent people like myself. I would give those people opportunities for the network.
I love that.
I would do that because it's so hard. It's so hard to get in. It is so difficult because I've been trying to get in and I'm still not in. You know, and I've been trying for like years and I'm still not in that door that I want to be into yet.
I love that.
And so what I would do if I bought the network, I would allow independent filmmakers, people who making movies. You got your own TV show and stuff. Of course, I got to reach a certain criteria.
Of course, yeah.
But I would allow you to have an opportunity to get it on the network.
I love that.
Those aren't out there.
Yeah. I
That's
feel like
hard.
we're reaching like an independent era. Or I feel like that's what we're at, where I don't think you should necessarily have to work with a company in order to get certain opportunities. I feel like everyone is like their own boss, you know? Just like how you said you had to work, once you started working with iHeart, that put you in the door with a lot of people, or a lot more people, but you already had the skill before iHeart. You should have been able to get in certain doors and opportunities, which you already were, but I feel like you should have been able to do like a lot of stuff that you're doing now without having to have iHeart attached to your name. But I feel like still some people feel like you have to have that company attached to you for us to let you in this room. So I love that you're saying one thing you would do with BET is like allow more independence in, because I feel like that's where we're at. Like we are our own creators now, you know? So I think that would be super amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, Zanique, you heard this. Tap in with my boy. Do not miss out.
Nah, for sure.
But so what's one thing that we didn't ask you that we wish we would have asked? And yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. Wow, I don't know. I mean, y'all are good. Y'all covered everything, and I think I think y'all hit.
Oh, wow.
Hit everything.
Hey, we did that.
But nah, this was a good interview for sure. We was laughing
We
the whole time.
appreciate you. He 22. He doing his thing. He got all of these great things. iHeart Media, Fatal Attractions, Zanique. You feel me? He got all of this stuff.
He cooked.
So yeah, he cooked.
He
all
like
of that
Gucci.
stuff.
He gonna put you in Gucci too.
He got the Gucci watch on right now. You feel me? So yeah, I appreciate y'all for joining. If you have any last
Definitely.
words, let us know.
Oh, let the people know where to find you. Too.
Yeah.
You know I gotta shout myself out now. Come
Definitely.
on now. I can't leave without doing that. But yeah, y'all can go follow me on Instagram at Tyrik Wynn. iHeartMedia, TYRIKWYNN.iHeartMedia. You can also I'm still on Facebook. I know y'all not on Facebook.
I'm on Facebook.
You on Facebook? All right, you on Facebook? All right, yeah. Hey, tap in with me on Facebook, man. Tyrik Wynn, iHeartMedia. Also on Twitter, Tyrik Wynn TV. And then, of course, you know, this whole thing is about support. And hey, you got an opportunity to support your boy. So if you go to the link in my bio, my book is there. You can go get my book, Green is the Thing, Money Management for Kids. My other book, How to Create Your Own TV Talk Show. You can get that as well. That teaches you how to create your own show and get the content on TV, local television. Because I am in that door. I've made it to that point, but we just trying to get to that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah, it will. We claiming that, and then also coming out with my clothing line as well.
Yes.
Doing a relaunch and stuff. So what I'm doing is with the clothing line. I'm doing it. It's gonna be real nice. Partnered with the company to do this, and we about to do the launch, and it's gonna be some real good stuff. So
Nice.
like I said, like how I do my Tyreek's Daily Fit Check and stuff. Like one shirt gonna have "What It Do, Baby" on it, which I actually wore Sunday. You seen that one?
Yeah, I seen it.
Yeah. So I did the "What It Do, Baby" shirt. I'm coming in hot. stuff like that. And
I love that.
it's just it's gonna be a nice line of stuff. So
I'm here for it.
y'all make sure y'all support, and you can just check out my Instagram for all of that good stuff. So.
Yes, doing it big, man. That's inspirational.
For sure.
Oh, and the studio. Hold on.
Yes, can't forget the studio.
Yeah, hold on now. Listen.
Hello to the studio.
Yeah, so if y'all want to rent some space at the studio for your show, your podcast, photo shoot, classroom, whatever the case may be, you just need somewhere to film. Make sure you can contact Wynn Productions LLC 754-225-2805. 754-225-2805. You can do that. And then, hey, tap in with us. Go ahead and book an appointment. Got various rooms available that you can book, and grand opening gonna be in June. So y'all follow me on social media, and I'll keep you up to date on how the studio is going. I've been doing like little paint videos and stuff, and then I'll be launching the grand opening flyer very soon. So.
And you want to leave a number for Zanique too, or she can text that same number.
Oh,
I'm playing.
Hit her in the DM. Hit her in the DM.
Yeah, she can hit me in the DM, or I hit her in the DM and stuff. But yeah, but look, hey, if Zanique, she turned me down, I'm available.
Players lose too.
Hey,
let them know.
My DM's open.
Let them know.
Hey, I respond to my DMs. I do. I respond to every single. If it's not a scam or something, I will respond to you.
Period.
So,
That's
good.
hey, if you cute, hey, holla at me.
I love it.
But all right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Y'all can support me. My main is Yanni Bratcher, and my Christian inspirational brand is Wise Label.
Yeah, you can find your boy Roy Travion as my personal page, business page. Royalty Made It, the great creative agency that creates first impressions for entrepreneurs and content creators. Let's get it.
Yes, and y'all can find me. Well, my personal is at I am Jada Ellis on Instagram, and you can find my fashion brand at JAELL Official, Jael Official on Instagram too.
Yes.
Yeah, y'all. Thank you for
And
watching.
wait, hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought we was finished? Listen to the Apple Pod version.
yes.
You can listen on Spotify and all of that stuff. Tune in, comment your favorite part, share it on your stories. And yeah, we out. Let's get it.
Yes. Bye, y'all.
Yeah.